everyone, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. How are you, my luscious lady lumps? How was Thanksgiving for everyone who celebrates? Mine was very indulgent and very carbohydrate heavy, which is how it should be. Welcome to my November wrap up. Now, if this is your first one, this is a really simple video where I just chat with you. It's like a back and forth fun time where friends just hang out and I tell you how my month went. I tell you about all of the writing and all the publishing stuff I did, all of my favorite books, and then a bunch of fun favorites throughout the month that I discovered. And then in the comments, you tell me how your month was, your favorite reads, your favorite foods, how your NaNoWriMo's going if you're doing it. So grab a drink and let's chat. I am having the Starbucks gingerbread chai latte. I got it iced yesterday, but I couldn't drink it all, so I warmed it up this morning and it's fabulous. Let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing I want to talk about is writing. This month, I only have two things to talk about. There were only two big writing things, and I'm honestly okay with that. That means it was a more chill month, and I was able to really dive in deep and focus. But the first thing I did was I took a week off after finishing my first draft of Bitter Bones. It was very, very lovely to just read and play video games for a whole week and not worry about writing at all. But when I came back, I immediately dove into rereading and going over my notes for Project Pyro. Now, this is my YA social thriller following a young pyromaniac who gets invited to this school free of charge. She doesn't know why, and then when she gets there, other disabled girls start disappearing. Now, when I left off on this draft earlier in the year to focus on finishing Bitter Bones, I was on chapter 7 of my second draft. So not very far in. What I did was I reread everything I had, went over my notes, my revision plan, and then I just dove right in there. And when I tell you, I was instantly so immersed. It was like I never even took a break. This character just sings off the page for me. I'm finally back into a world where I can write just like gritty, nasty things happening and gross people making bad decisions. And like, I love middle grade, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I just need to write about the dark recesses of the human soul. So I worked on that hardcore, pretty much my main project for this whole month, and I got up to chapter 17. Only 10 chapters left, so doing well. My goal is to finish this book by the second week of December, so I can take the last 2 weeks off to like relax and do whatever I want. So that way, when I revisit the project early next year, I can just kind of be like, okay, the story's there. Hopefully I've got most of the developmental things that I can catch on my own. I can just focus on the prose and the character development and like really making it like shine, which is always when a book starts to feel real to me. Then in writing related news, I finally listened to the audiobook of The Odds. Let me tell you. Actually, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how much I love this audiobook, how well developed it is. I did get to pick my audiobook narrator. I think I had 5 different auditions that I got to choose between, and in fact, Scholastic asked if I had any narrators in mind, and I gave them a couple names of women that I would like to audition, and then they sent me all the auditions back and they wanted my input to see which one was my favorite. We ended up going with Diva Marie, and I just knew the moment I listened to her audition, like she was the one. I was looking for someone who could do really kooky, distinct voices for all of the strange characters that I have going on. And the audiobook is just beyond my wildest dreams for what it could have been. If you haven't been able to pick it up, please do. It's so good. It's a great format in which to consume the story. I've had so many people reach out to me and say that it just felt like you were watching an adaptation of like a TV show or a movie in ear form, and I think that's just such the biggest compliment. And I don't know, I'm just so proud of the team. They did so well. They really brought these characters to life. Now let's move on and talk about some of my favorite books that I read this month. In November, I read 11 books. I had a couple Halloween carryovers that I wasn't able to get to in time, as well as it being nonfiction November. I did have quite a few standout reads, so I wanted to take a minute quickly to kind of just gush about some of my favorite reads. First, I read a YA horror, I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. So good. This is about a ballerina who, because of social inequality, has really struggled trying to rise to the top in ballet school, and she makes a pact with an eldritch god to get revenge on the people that have wronged her and rise to the top. But slowly is she turning into a monster herself. First of all, that's perfect. I love a dark character arc. Like, give me girl doing wrong and I'm there for it. I also really love insular, super specific cultures. To these people in this book, ballet is absolutely everything. Like they would kill to be the first twirly girl. I don't know what they're called, but to be the #1 twirler. I love that kind of obsessive culture where people kind of forget that there is a world outside and that dancing is not the only thing that matters, but them forgetting that and just being so cutthroat, and then like some people being a little bit on the wackadoo side and some people being a little bit on the ruthless side makes for great storytelling. I also read the 4th book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and I love this series. First of all, it's about a group of elders who live in a retirement home and they love true crime, and they get together every Thursday and discuss it. And then one day there is a murder on the premises and they are determined to solve it. Obviously it's right up my alley because it's got old people and it's got murder mysteries. Say less. I ended up sobbing on an airplane. 4 times, 4 different flights. After the second time, I should have known, like, let's maybe not listen to this on the airplane. Let's turn on something like less dramatic. But no, I was enjoying it so much I just kept listening and trying not to let the person next to me know that I was like snotting into my sleeve. Overall, this series really isn't sad. It was just this book in particular is an exploration of something that I find really, really devastating personally. Mainly the slip of a loved one into like an Alzheimer's fog, which is like really, really hard to watch. But overall, this series is like actually funny and comical. Like it's not a sad book. It's just this had sad pieces that specifically hit home to me, because overall it's very cozy, it's very comforting. It's like a warm British hug. I don't even know what that means. Fireplaces and the smell of cigars and a strong cup of tea and a cozy wool sweater. That's what these books are. With a hint of murder. And my last standout that I want to talk about for the month is An Indigenous History of the United States. This is kind of a series written by multiple different authors, but like all within this overarching series of American history that I really, really enjoy. I have in the past read A Disability History of the United States. In fact, I like binged that entire book in one sitting. I listened to the audiobook just like straight all the way through. So I made a TBR of all of the other books in the series that I wanted to get to, and I thought since it was Indigenous Heritage Month, I was like, well, why not just get to this in Nonfiction November? If you're interested, also in the series is an African American history of the United States, a women's history, a queer history, a Afro-Latinx history, and Asian American history as well. Each of the book's author is chosen because they are a like scholar in their area of study, and as far as I know, all of them are from the communities that they're writing about. This was a very difficult but fascinating read. I think that the coolest part of this is that like white people don't even show up in this book until like 20% of the way in, because there is just so much to learn and so much that was happening over here before the colonizers showed up. Like it was like Rome, you know what I mean? Like all the stuff that was happening in Rome, all of the politics, all of the technology, like all that stuff was happening over here too. It's just, it doesn't get talked about. The drama that was happening, loved it. Like the inner tribe drama, even like the politics within tribes, I was just like, ooh, juicy. Julius Caesar, who? You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna make it like a yearly ritual to read one of these books in the series, because I just learned so much, and I find the authors that they contract to write these books, like their styles of writing is so engaging for a nonfiction. Moving into some life stuff, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that I get to meet up with some amazing Authortubers again this month. My wonderful friend Lainey got married, and she is one of the people that I met through Author Mentor Match. We became friends, we became critique partners, and through her I met so many other amazing Authortubers, and we've kind of just formed a little friend group, and we all got to hang out for a weekend in Iowa. It was my first time in Iowa, and what a time. Lots of cows, lots of corn, but we had so much fun spending some time together. The wedding was absolutely beautiful. Lainey was absolutely beautiful, and it was just fun getting to hang out with some Authortube and Booktube folks and just have a good old weekend. It still blows my mind that some of the people that I talk to every single day like are internet people. Like that I have so many friendships made through chance and circumstance is just wild to me. Some fun things that I watched this month. I did go see the Hunger Games prequel movie. I saw someone call it the salad of bongbirds and rakes. Honestly, it's such a mouthful. For a bit of history on my feelings of this, I really did not like the book. I think it was kind of poorly paced, to be honest. And the movie follows the exact same trajectory. It is a very true adaptation. So you've got this situation where it's like the story should end after the Hunger Games, but then there's just like a little bit after that it's like not enough to be its own movie, its own book, but feels awkward attached to this masterpiece. So I don't know. But here's the thing, because I knew that I didn't really care for the book, I went into the movie with super low expectations, expecting kind of a poorly paced story with hopefully more action than what we got in the books. And I'm a big fan for like the Hunger Games world in general, so like the fact that it was kind of bad, like I didn't care anyways. I was just like having fun. So I would say in general, with my low expectations, I kind of like enjoy the movie. I love a good negative character arc, as I said. I love someone going from being like bad or just okay to being like deplorable. Like that's really fun for me to watch. I really like Snow as a character. I mean, like a driven person with goals. We stand. Also, I very quickly became obsessed with the music. District 12 is based off of Appalachia, which is where my people come from. And the music was so deeply like bluegrass mountain music. I super became obsessed with the song Nothing You Can Take From Me because that just fits Project Pyro so well, and I would just like listen to that song on YouTube on repeat. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect for my book. So yeah, overall, I don't know, I liked it, but I don't think it was good, if that makes sense. Another thing that I started watching this month was The Only Murders in the Building, and I really am enjoying it. It's super cute. It's got like the same kind of Thursday Murder Club vibes where it's like older people are the focus of the story and like, you know, not making them caricatures, like they're real fleshed out people with real stories and real lives and like tales that are worth telling. So I really like that we're following like two elderly guys and then like a 20-something girl, and they're like making a podcast about the murders in their apartment building, and I just think that it's a fun, heartwarming time. Next, I want to talk about some games that I am currently obsessed with. The first one I have no explanation for. It's the Sims Ranch Dressing Pack. Just kidding, it's a Sims Horse Ranch. But here's the thing. I usually play very like suburban, chill, vanilla Sims gameplay. I know, shocking, right? So it doesn't really make sense for my Sims to own goats and llamas and things like that, but like I'm obsessed with goats. Goats are my favorite animals, so I knew I had to put them straight into the game. So I just downloaded a petting zoo and I take my family there every day. It's just great. It's so great. My favorite goat is this little gray one, and his name is Tin Can, and he's so mean. He's so mean. He bucks everyone. He's everything I am and everything I'm not. Switching vibes. Switch. I have been playing Night in the Woods on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not very far into this game, but it is definitely a slow, cozy game. It is the slowest paced story I think I've ever played, where you're really just going around and kind of exploring a rundown Rust Belt town. You're catching up with families you used to have relationships with and people you used to go to high school with, and there's something very autumnal about the game itself. It's probably the setting, but also just the slow, sleepy atmosphere that's almost kind of melancholic. The game itself seems very wistful and sad in some ways, and in fact I've had people tell me that it does get sad the more you play it, but it's also just like deeply funny. Like I can tell that this game was written by millennials for millennials. There's also a murder mystery running through it. Like there's random body parts found in the woods, and in fact there's a part in the game where you find an arm and you just poke it with a stick. Like it's your job to poke it with a stick until the game tells you to stop. It's weird, but if you're weird, you'll like it. Quickly, I want to talk about some purchases that I've been obsessed with this month. First of all, I got this robe, which I feel like this type of robe with this type of material are absolutely everywhere. I know like the Skims, the Kardashian line, they have something very similar to this. It's just like luxury loungewear robes, and your girl got this at Cracker Barrel for $20. Yeehaw! But it's so soft. Like I don't even wear clothes anymore around the house. I mean, like I wear like pajamas, but like mind your business, okay? But I just find myself wanting to wear my pajamas all day because this is so comfortable and it's so soft and it's so warm. And also I just feel very aesthetic and trendy in it. And as someone who is not a very trendy person, there's like a little dopamine rush every time I put it on. Next, my friend made me this amazing shirt for Thanksgiving, and I don't have anything else to add about it other than I just love it. I already shared all of the Squishmallows that I got this month in a vlog, so you can go check that out for like the -1 of you that actually care about the Squishmallows I get every month. But I did get one little keychain afterwards. This is Sunny. I feel like she is somehow like a misprint because her eyes are super wide, like much wider than any other clip or Squishmallow I have, but I think it makes her look so charming. Anyway, she just makes me so happy, so I'm so glad I picked her up, and she'll be hanging out on my purse in the springtime. I feel like this video's writing to life and reading ratio was like very off. Even though I completed so many chapters of Project Pyro, it's like I did a ton of work, but like I can just tell you I did a ton of work and that's it. I don't have anything to show you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video regardless, even though it was like writer light diet author tube. But I really want to know how your November went, what you read that was amazing, how your NaNoWriMo went, or just how your writing went in general. Let me know your favorite Thanksgiving food down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you'd like, the Glass Witch and the odds are available for order wherever books are sold. Links are always down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.